If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
What's up? What's going on, y'all? Y'all know what time it is. We have a tech testimony that is getting started. Hopefully we are live on YouTube. It says it's loading. We have a testimony that's getting started right now. He went from being a banker to now. And y'all, we got a really special treat for you all today, not just from his testimony, his story, but also we have a special treat because we are also talking about leveraging AI.
Cyrus, if you can hear me, you froze and you're muted on my end.
Can you hear me, Kevin?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Could you hear me?
Oh man, is my mic acting up?
Yeah, it's coming in and out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, can you send me the request on Instagram?
Yep, I got you. I just sent you.
All right, good stuff. All right, I see it now. Y'all, he is joining me now on Instagram. Again, y'all, he went from being a banker to now working in the tech industry. He's going to talk about what he does in tech. He's going to talk about, he literally just got into the industry not too long ago. So he's going to talk about that. But also we're going to talk about a couple different options of being able to get into the industry or getting help to get into the industry. So for everybody who's on YouTube and LinkedIn, if y'all want access to the same program that he did, and you want a discount to the program he did, go to the link in the description. For those of you that are on Instagram, just comment AI coach, and you'll get the link in your automations where you'll have 2 different options to be able to get into the industry. Same thing for those of you that are on LinkedIn and YouTube. Just go to the description underneath this video, and then you'll see the different options there to be able to help you get in the tech industry. That being said, okay, I see you sent another request to join. All right, so we're going to try this again. Oh, it says Kevin is unable to join. Did you? Oh, that sucks. How long have you had your Instagram?
I mean, I've had it for years. Is it because I just downloaded it back?
I wonder why it's not letting you join. No, because I've had people like download it like that day and they were able to join. I've had people make Instagrams that day and they were able to join.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's really strange. I wonder why it's not letting you join on Instagram. Crap.
Let me try refreshing it. Try doing it again.
All right. Well, look, y'all, everybody that's on Instagram, y'all come on over, join on YouTube and LinkedIn. But that being said, it also just comment AI coach, So that way you can get the link to the program he did. But come on over to YouTube, link or LinkedIn, so that way y'all can join the conversation, hear his testimony. Yeah, that's amazing, top of the hill. So somebody said they did the same program that Kevin did. Said that they now have a $60,000 surplus OTE, which is amazing. Plus benefits, recurring commission, and much more. That's good. We love to see it. Love to see it. All right, guys. So we are going to end the stream here, and we're going to focus on YouTube and LinkedIn because for some reason it's not letting us join on Instagram, or it's not letting Kevin join on Instagram. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop off here, y'all. If y'all want to join in the rest of the conversation, just come on over onto YouTube. The Tech is the New Black channel on YouTube. Come on over to be able to hear the rest of our conversation here. All right, cool. All right, Kevin, we can keep rocking and rolling here.
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
It kind of sucks because like half of the people that usually view are on Instagram, but I mean, it's not a super big deal. So that being said, we'll go ahead and jump into everything. So thank you to everybody that's been patient. We'll go ahead and jump into it. You said what?
I didn't say anything.
What'd you say, Kevin?
No, I didn't say anything.
Okay, my bad. I thought it like cut out or something. Okay, totally cool. All right, guys. So, Kevin, let's go ahead and jump into it. So, thank you again for being here. Appreciate you, bro, for taking time out of your evening to be here. So, let's go ahead and jump into everybody. So, first and foremost, what do you do in tech, and how long have you been in the industry?
So, I'm an IT asset analyst, and I've been in my current role for like 2 months. But in IT in general, I've been 4 months total.
You said an IT analyst, and you said how long in total?
So, I started in IT earlier February this year.
Okay, super cool.
Yeah.
So IT analyst, got in, but that's roughly 4 or 5 months ago. So that's really dope. Now, on average, someone starting off as an IT analyst, what's the range of starting pay that someone makes usually starting out? And then also, what's the highest career earning potential? So let's say an IT analyst gets promoted up maybe to, I don't know if they go to a data analyst, a data scientist, whatever that might be. So what's the range of the entry level pay to the range of the highest salaries as people get promoted up?
Yeah, so entry level pay for an IT asset analyst, I know in my company it's from 65 to like 90K entry level. And I know for people that have been in the industry for a while, that have a lot of experience, I know it can go up to like 150 to like 200K.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Fire. So starting off, good range. I think you said like 65 to 90K. That's really good starting pay, and then up to 200K at the top level, which is really amazing. So let me know in the chat if any of you, everybody here who's familiar with the IT analyst role or position. So all right, so you got in the industry in February. You're an IT analyst. The range pay is roughly between, just to put it in the middle, between about 80K up to 200K. Now, how exactly did you get in the industry?
So I got into industry basically by just taking a course called Course Careers. It's the information technology course from them.
Mm-hmm.
And just going through it and finishing it and following their step, like, because it's like a structured path. So just following it step by step, and I was able to land my current role.
Yeah. All right, cool. We're going to talk about it in a little bit more detail for everybody who's tuning in. So, and last thing, and then we're going to get into like the nitty gritty of the conversation. What does, like on a high level overview, what does an IT analyst even do?
So IT asset analyst, in my company, I mean, we do a lot of projects. I'm just going to speak to like what I do in my company. So there's like a lot of projects going on. We have like MDM with iPads, with iPhones. We have a project with, I don't know, like
what is that? What is that? What is MD? What is MDM? What is that?
So it's like a mobile device management where we're able to like
okay.
We're able to like, what is it, control devices, mainly like iPads and iPhones, because we have like company phones through like a software or an application. So we do a little. The thing is, like, I dabble in a little bit of a lot of things.
Okay.
Just different projects that my company is currently doing. Other than that, it's everything to do with like inventory, and also I don't know if you know, like Windows 10 is coming to an end in like September, October. So a huge project we have going on is getting rid of all the Windows 10, upgrading to Windows 11. So it's gonna be a big deal.
Okay, it's breaking up a lot on my end. I want to know from everybody in the chat, am I breaking up to you all when I'm talking? Is Kevin breaking up to you all when he's talking? Are we both breaking up? I've never seen these type of technical issues happening before, but I think it's something's going on with the platform. Kevin, how do I sound to you when I'm talking and when I'm moving and stuff?
So at the beginning, you were breaking up a lot, but now you're good.
Yeah, and now you're fine to me too. Now you seem completely fine. So we'll just continue rocking and rolling. For those of you all who missed it, he has been in the industry now since February of this year. He's an IT analyst. He got in the industry by doing course careers. Y'all know I've interviewed countless people who've done course careers. And the range of salary pay starting off is somewhere in between about 65 to 90,000, which is pretty common for starting off in the tech industry for an entry range, up to about $200,000 if someone scales up in the analyst. Transition from that into other things like being a data scientist, data analyst, AI analyst, things like that. Nevertheless, really great space to get into. And for those of you that are interested, if you're not in the tech industry, there are two different options that we have for you. One option is, of course, we have a discount link to the exact same program he did, Course Careers, where literally with the discount link, it's only $449. The other option is you can be able to get actual mentorship and be able to get career coaching as well as AI tools to help with your resume, your cover letter. Also, it has a layoff tracker to make sure whatever company you're at that you get alerts 60 to 90 days in advance before your company or if your company announces a layoff, you will actually know before your company announces it 60 to 90 days in advance. The AI is able to report that to you. So that way you are completely layoff proof. And so that option for today is 50% off. And so that option is literally $49. So those are two different options to be able to get in the tech industry. Either one, Course Career was the program he did, an amazing program, literally with our discount link, $449. Or if you don't need an actual boot camp and you just need tools, you need help with your resume, your cover letter, your LinkedIn, your interviewing, and a bunch of other stuff, then there also is the other option to be able to sign up with that for just $49 today. But after today, it will go back to $99. Just give you all a heads up. That being said, y'all, let's go ahead and jump into the rest of this story with Kevin. So I got to hear a little bit about this at first, but a lot of his story I haven't heard yet. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it. Also, let me highlight for everybody really quickly. He's not currently making $100K yet. We have that as always. I kind of reiterate this for people. We always just put 100K career because in the tech industry, our people start off either a little bit below 100,000 or a little bit above 100,000. Either way, the career trajectory is going to land everyone that's in tech over 100,000, even if you don't start there. So I just want to give y'all a heads up about that. Make sure we're fully transparent. So that being said, let's continue on with the story, Kevin. So now let's go back in your life before you did the boot camp and before you were even thinking about getting in tech. So I know you were a bookkeeper at one point, but most recently, when you got in tech, you were a banker. So what was going on in your life before you even thought about getting in tech, and what led you to being like, yo, I think I want to get in this tech industry?
Yeah, so I was an associate banker for 2 years prior to getting into IT. So like an associate banker is like a teller. It's not really like a banker. So it's more of like a teller. It's just, I guess different companies have different names for it. So I was an associate banker for 2 years, and I started to not enjoy it as much. It was like just very repetitive, very like just deposits, withdrawals, stuff like that. and I did that for 2
Yeah.
years, and I just didn't see myself growing within like the company. I didn't see myself becoming a banker because that was like the next steps of like me, like I
Yeah.
guess going in that career path, and I just didn't see myself becoming a banker. So I just decided to like, what is it like? Looking at many different videos, I saw like IT, I saw different like where to exactly specialize, and in doing so, with many videos online, I landed in IT. So that's where I am now.
Okay, that's fire. So to reiterate, you mentioned that you didn't see yourself becoming a banker. Was that because you didn't see there being a lot of opportunities to become a banker, or was that because you just didn't weren't interested in becoming a banker?
I just wasn't interested. The opportunities were there, and I was projected to become a banker, but I just couldn't see myself
Yeah.
going to the same bank for like 10, 15 years, you know, for many years to come.
Oh yeah.
I was already bored. I was already
Yeah.
bored there, 2 years. So I just couldn't see myself, Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. You like, yo, I'm not gonna continue being bored for the next 10, 15
yeah,
years of my life.
yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Let me know in the chat. Hey, y'all are not active in the chat. I'm used to y'all being a lot more active in the chat. So, but let me know in the chat if any of you have ever had that exact same feeling where you were either working somewhere or doing something in life, and you were like, "Yo, I have to make a change," mainly out of boredom. So that's interesting. I've definitely been there before. So so you were doing research online, looking up, other industries to get into, and then you stumbled on some stuff when it came to IT career. So what when you signed up for the program, when exactly did you sign up for the boot camp?
So I signed up for course careers at the end of January of this year.
Wow. So you signed up the end of January and you started at your job in February.
Yeah, I mean late February. Yeah, yeah. In total, it took me like 5 to 6 weeks to land my role.
Yeah, man. So that's incredible. So it took you 5 to 6 weeks from the point you started the boot camp to the point of you getting a job.
Yes.
Man, incredible, incredible. Hey, look, y'all, I think you're probably the third or fourth person that I've interviewed in the last month that got a job within like 2 to 3 months of doing the boot camp. I got a job 2 months after I did the boot camp. I did too. But the thing is, when I got in the industry, it was the very end of 2021 when I got in the industry. It was October 2021. And people I always see people online say all the time, like, "Oh, nobody's getting a job that fast anymore." And what's funny is that the last month, I've interviewed 3 or 4 people who got a job just as fast as I did. And so, I guess my question to you, continuing on with your story and kind of piggybacking off of that, I'm sure you see news in the market. You see people saying stuff like, "Oh, the tech industry isn't hiring. Nobody's hiring." So, one, what to have the confidence that you can still get into the industry, and two, what word of advice do you have for people who think they can't get a job in tech because the news is saying nobody's hiring?
Yep. So, wait, could you reiterate the first question again? Sorry.
Totally cool. Yeah, so based on all the news in the market, they're saying that nobody's hiring in tech. But you and the last 3 or 4 people that I've interviewed who've done the exact same program you did all got in tech this year, and it only took you a few weeks to like 1 or 2 months. And so my question to you is, what gave you the confidence to want to get in tech despite the news? And then the second thing is, what would you say? Like, let's say somebody tells you they're scared of trying to get in the industry because of what the news says.
Yeah. So, for me, right, the confidence that I gained was actually through like these testimonials from like other people as well.
Yeah.
I was seeing many of these
Hmm.
testimonials online, all throughout YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, right? And I'm like, if I'm seeing a lot of people getting into the industry, I'm like, I know I can do it too, right? So
Exactly. Yeah.
like and especially a lot of people with no prior experience, because I had no experience. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, so I know like I knew I was gonna purchase this course, and in my head I was like, I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna put all the effort I can into this
Yeah.
course, and I know at the end of this course I'm gonna land my job. That's like the mindset I had prior
Yeah.
to going to. I wasn't like, oh, I'm not gonna land a job, or I didn't want to be scared. I just had that confidence within me. And for everybody, like
Yeah.
advice that I would say for people that are scared is like, I don't know, I like there's many different, depending on where you live, right? There's many different roles. There's many different like job openings. You just have to like search online. If like your location have a lot of job openings, that means that they're constantly hiring. They're constantly hiring. So it's like
Yeah,
I just wouldn't, what is it, like, take the news very seriously. I wouldn't take it very seriously since like
exactly.
I'm living proof, and there's other people as well living proof of people with no experience landing entry level IT jobs. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, those are facts. Those are facts. Yeah, bro, I love that. I love your answer. And I mean, yeah, all of that is straight up facts. I love how you mentioned that you saw other testimonies because so many people carry the opposite mindset. So many people, they will see other people getting in the industry, and instead of them having hope that they can do it too, they will start to doubt themselves. Like they'll say, oh, that person got in just because of the color of their skin. Like, or they got in because, they seem smarter than me, or because they have experience, or maybe they just got lucky. And so I love that you didn't have that type of mentality. You had that real mentality of, yo, if they did it, like they're human, I'm human. If they did it, I know I can do it too. And so I think that's amazing. And I also love the aspect, and I say it all the time to people, whenever you're looking to get into the tech industry and whenever you're doing a program, you do not pay attention to any negative news. Because when I got in the industry at the end of 2021, when I got online talking about it, people didn't think they can get in 2021. Then 2022, people didn't think they can get in. In 2023, when the market started going crazy, people doubted they can get in. In 2024, and now, and every single year, I have interviewed about 30 or 40 people who did a boot camp and got in the industry. And it's like we can either allow, there's a quote, it's a famous quote, but I heard it recently. I was reminded of it recently. And the quote is said that there's nothing that you should fear except for fear itself. And it's true. It's like there's nothing that we should ever be worried about, but we should be worried about becoming a person who's worried about stuff because that will keep us. Fear hinders us more than the lack of opportunity ever will hinder us. So yeah, bro. So I definitely love your mentality. Yeah, people in the comments are saluting you. Somebody said, Destiny says congratulations.
Thank you.
Kenyatta
Thank
says,
you.
talk your talk, Kevin. Greg, what's up, Greg? Greg said that's true. It's about the mindset. Yeah, mindset is arguably the most important thing when it comes to success. Most important thing. So I definitely love that. All right, so look, let's go ahead and continue on. So during the process, so at what time did you finish the program? Between when did you finish? Between how long did it take you before you got a job? Was it 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah, so I finished course crews. It took me like 2 to 3 weeks to finish it. And then 2 to 3 weeks after that, I was able to land I landed two roles. I was able to land two roles, which I said yes
Oh,
to the first one. Yeah, I said yes to the first one. But then I eventually landed my current role, which was, it was paying a little bit more, so I had to decline the first one and say yes to the second
yeah.
one, which is my current role now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, that's fire. So when you declined the first one,
Yeah.
so I love it. So you got two offers. That's beautiful, bro. So you declined when you declined the first one, when you went back and declined the first one, did you tell them that you were declining because you got another offer and it was a better offer, or what'd you say?
I mean, I like being honest, and that's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Because
And I'm asking this. Oh, go ahead.
no, continue. Sorry.
No, no, no. You were saying something. You like being honest because what?
I mean, I'm an honest person, and there's nothing wrong with being honest. There's nothing wrong with being honest, and I did feel bad emailing them because I know
Yeah.
I think it was like 3 rounds or 4 rounds of interview with them, and it was like my first role that I actually landed. So I was like excited for it until I landed this role, which is like a higher
Yeah.
paid salary. So I couldn't say no to that.
Yeah. Exactly.
I couldn't
Exactly.
say no to
Yeah.
that.
No,
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah. When we're getting in the industry, and so you did right because when we're getting in the industry, the most important thing is, I would say, arguably, is pay and or location if they allow you to work remote, something like that. But pay is probably top priority. Realistically, I don't think people should start taking opportunities that pay less until you're making around 200,000, 300,000, because once the lifestyle difference between making 200,000 versus making 230,000 is not a lifestyle difference at all at that point. And so at that point, the main focus, I think, should be your comfortability, should be how well you like the company culture. Stuff like that starts to matter a lot more at that point. But no, you definitely made the right decision when it comes to that. And so, yeah, I love that. There was something else I wanted to ask you, but completely skipped my mind. So yeah. So I'm curious, and this is just out of curiosity. When you told the company that you were gonna have to like go back and decline the offer because you got a better offer, they didn't try to renegotiate it all. They weren't like, well, how much did they offer you? Maybe we can offer you just as much. Like, what happened?
So they did try to negotiate, or I think they asked me, I'm like, oh, do you mind sharing how much the other company is paying you? And then I'm like, no, I don't mind. And then I gave them the range, which the range then was 60 to 70,000 as like help desk level one.
Mm-hmm.
So I did tell them that, and then they're like, oh, okay, like, they honestly didn't. I don't think they were able to match that at all. So they didn't even say that. They just said, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, we understand, and that's basically it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They couldn't match it. They couldn't match it. That's what it was. Yeah. No, that's funny. That's super cool. Yeah, I mean that's a beautiful thing to see. And yeah, honestly, it's nothing you should feel bad about because I mean, companies do that to us all the time. Like plenty of times. I mean, there have been sometimes people have gotten offers and then companies have rescinded the offer. So the same, like it happens both ways. Greg
Yeah.
Christelle says yes, money talks. Uh, eight liars or eight leers says, and my English is not perfect, but my French is. I mean, hey, there's companies that need some people that speak French. So let's continue on. So when you were in the interview process, which like you said, it was only about 2 or 3 weeks of you being in the applying and interview process with the companies. When you were in that process, what was it like for you? Did you feel confident? Did you feel equipped? Because of course you get your education in the program. And I know the program you did, they help you with your LinkedIn, with your resume. They help you with some good stuff. What was your confidence level during the interview process, and how well did you feel equipped to answer certain questions you were being asked in the interviews?
Yeah. So in my experience, I feel like course careers, they help you not just land your first entry role, but like they help you land your first entry role, right? But they help you with like land more interviews. That's what I was trying to get at. They help you land more interviews.
Mm-hmm.
So I applied to like around 60 to 70 jobs, and I had around like 10 to 15 interviews, right? And the first few
Yeah.
interviews, I completely failed. I'm not even gonna lie. I completely failed.
Uh,
I was I
yeah.
was I was nervous. I didn't know what they were gonna ask. I didn't have that confidence yet built in, right?
Yeah.
But those first few
Yeah.
failed interviews helped me become more confident because I knew what to say. I knew what to talk about. It helped me become more confident when interviewing. So that's how I was able to land like towards the end of those
Yeah.
like 10 to 15 interviews that I had. I was able to do like great and do
Yeah.
amazing in those. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. That's really amazing. For those that don't know, the space he's in, the IT analyst space, IT support space, that is one of the most like in demand roles. They're hiring a lot for it. That's a huge part of the reason, and this isn't a takeaway from the work that you put in at all, Kevin, but that's part of the reason that people are able to get jobs so quickly in that space. So again, if you have education in that space, it's a relatively short window between you getting hired in that industry and space. And like you said, usually people start off in that space around 65 to 90,000. And then of course you can always scale up and be able to move around. So yeah, for those of y'all that the exact same program he did, of course, careers, I know it's different people popping in and popping out. He literally, it took him 6 weeks between the time of him starting the boot camp and him getting the job, which is incredibly fast, even faster than me. It took me 8 weeks. So he beat me by a couple weeks of getting in the industry. But that being said, for those that want the discount link to the same program he did, is literally just $449. That's it. Literally just look at the links in the description and you'll see an option that's there for that. Also, you'll see an option that's there for a $49 career service as well, something that's much more affordable. But it's not a completely self-paced curriculum. It's a curriculum that comes with some other modules and trainings and stuff as well. But those are two different options, because even though $449 is incredibly affordable, nevertheless, I know some people are on an even tighter budget than that. So we have a couple different options down there in the description for you all. And that being said, let's go ahead and continue on. I'm gonna check out some of these comments. So Shai says, definitely ready to change careers. Chris Christina says, great way to take your interview lessons and turning them into success. Yeah, exactly. Now, that's a really great thing. Now let's talk about your experience being in the industry. So you got two offers in 6 weeks, which is amazing. What was it like? Like, what has it been like so far? You've been in the industry now for roughly 5 months, 4 or 5 months. How would you describe the working in tech versus working in like being a banker? Because I mean, your biggest thing, it didn't sound like your biggest complaint was like that you needed more money, because either way you were going to get promoted to a banker, so you were going to get more money. In your case, it was that you wanted a better career, something that was maybe a little bit more interesting. So how would you compare, I would say, the salary opportunity, because we can still talk about money a little bit. How would you compare the income opportunity where you're at now versus where you were at before? But then also, what is your experience like working? And again, I know you can only speak for your company, right? At least for right now. But so far, what is your experience like being in the tech industry versus when you were a teller?
Yep. So becoming a banker, right? The money is there. They do make a decent amount. They also make like 6 figures. And there is like opportunity to grow as well. Like there's a banker, then there's like I think like a relationship banker, a manager banker. There's like opportunities to grow within it. But like I said, I just didn't see myself growing, becoming a banker, going to the same bank over and over again. I just didn't see myself doing that. And for me, it felt like very repetitive. The things like my daily tasks, it felt very, very repetitive. So now compared to like IT, right? IT, there's a lot more growth, and the money is a lot more. It's a lot more than becoming a banker.
Yeah.
Banker money is good,
Mhm.
but IT money is like above it, you know. And
Yeah.
besides that, every single day it's like it's a different thing you do. There's like different tasks, different tickets, different projects. So it's like I don't know. It's fun. It's fun for me. I find it fun. I
Yeah.
find it intriguing. So that's my main differences between them.
That's amazing, bro. And I mean, it's a lot of people. Like, for example, for me, I don't like. For me, working in tech is it's better than other jobs I've had in the past. But my reasoning isn't really that I love it. For me, it's kind of like, oh, my job's okay. You know, it's a lot better than stuff I was doing before. For me, my main thing definitely is the money. But I will say it's a really dope thing that you actually like what you're doing. Like you're not just okay with it. Like me, I'm okay with what I'm doing. You actually like what you're doing, which means you're really gonna grow. Because I mean, you didn't like what you were doing as a teller, and you still were on a path to become a banker. You still were on a path to becoming successful. But now that you actually enjoy what you do, it's like it's going to be much better in terms of you being able to scale, you being able to move up. So I definitely love that. I definitely love that. Kenyatta said in the chat, she said, bank money is good, tech money is better. Damn, that's a bar. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's just the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love it. I love interviewing people like you where your reasoning wasn't money. Your reasoning was something else, but by the nature of the tech industry, more money is still going to come along with it, which is a really cool thing. Really cool thing. And so, all right, good stuff. All right, so now you enjoy your work a lot better, and what I'm curious is, what would you say to someone who is thinking about getting in the industry, but they feel as if, and we're about to transition over to the questions, everybody. So y'all get ready with y'all's questions. Make sure y'all are posting y'all's questions in the chat when it comes in the industry, getting in the industry, interviewing, any things like that. Um, Kevin, are you still there? It looks like you're buffering. At least on my end, you're buffering.
Yeah, you cut out for me as well, but you're back now.
Okay, super cool, super cool. All right, so what I guess with you getting in the industry, and let me actually transition over. When you were telling your friends, your family that you were looking to get into the tech industry, what was their opinion at first when you had mentioned that? And what was their reaction when you got in the industry in just 6 weeks?
Yeah, so my friends and family, they've always been supportive. They've always been supportive, and
Yeah,
they've always told me, hey, do something that you want to do. You know, like money will eventually come, right? But I feel like it's good that you
yeah,
do something or pursue something that you actually find interesting and stuff. So they were very supportive on that end.
yeah,
Very, very supportive. Yeah.
yeah.
And what was the second part of the question?
Yo, that's fire. And what did they? Yeah, yeah. What was their reaction when you got in the industry in just 6 weeks?
I mean, they honestly they weren't surprised because I feel like they know how
Yeah,
I am, how I work, you know. So they honestly weren't surprised because I feel like anything that you put your mind to and you know that you want to achieve, like any goals you have, like you
mhm,
eventually get them if you put in the work. So they saw the amount of
yeah,
work that I was putting in, so they knew I was eventually going to get it. So they weren't
yeah.
honestly very much surprised. They were just
That's
happy that I was
good.
able to land it.
So let's talk a little bit about that. So when you talk about work ethic, because I love that you mentioned that because I think when people hear stories like yours or like mine, when it's like, oh wow, you guys got in the industry, in 2 months or less, and then I've interviewed plenty of people who've gotten in the industry within just a couple months. And then I've interviewed people where it took them 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, whatever. But oftentimes people think that getting in that fast means that it's easy. Like almost they think like, okay, you pay for a program and then a program just hands you a job. But you mentioned that they saw the work you were putting in. So can you so people are fully prepared. Can you speak a little bit about what it takes to get in the industry? Whether work ethic, mindset, habits, what are some of the things that you would suggest that people should do whenever they're doing a boot camp or maybe even preparing to do a boot camp?
Yeah. So I mean, this is what helped work for me. It might not work for others, right? But just speaking from my own experience, I saw that other people were also able to finish this course careers within like 2 or 3 weeks or under a month. So that was my goal as well. And sorry, so are you there? I know I think it's buffering a bit. Are you able to hear me?
Are we good? I know I cut out for a second.
Yeah, I think you're back now. Could you hear me?
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. I was able to hear a little bit of what you said. Can you please say that again?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna speak from like my own experience, because I know other people might not be the same way I am, but
Mhm.
like I said, I saw testimonials that people were able to finish the course within like under a month. So that was my goal as well. That was my plan. So I know that
Mhm.
as soon as I bought the course, I told myself, hey, I had to delete Instagram, I had to delete TikTok, I deleted like all social media platforms. I didn't go out for those 2 to 3 weeks that I was doing the course at all. My game plan was
Wow.
just like straight after work, I would come home like 5:30. I would eat dinner, literally for like the next 3 to 4 hours, just focus on the
Yeah.
course, and that was me like the next like
Man.
2 to 3 weeks until I was able to finish the course, and that continued until I landed my
Yeah.
job. So basically, the whole 5 to 6 weeks
That's
after I finished the course, I did the same thing with applying to jobs, with like getting my resume right, creating my portfolio, all of that. That's all I was focused on
yeah.
until I was able to land my job. Once
Yeah.
I was able to land my job, hey, I downloaded TikTok again. I downloaded Instagram again. You know, I was able to play my
Yeah.
video games again. but yeah, so that's what I did, and that's what worked for
Yo,
me. It's just building that
I
discipline.
love that, man.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, you were locked in, bro. I love that so much. You were incredibly locked in. And that's fire to me. You know what's funny? I've seen people do the same program you did. I've seen one person do the same program you did. And then I actually paid for this person to do the program. And I was seeing them on Instagram posting all day. And I mean, posting just random stuff, posting memes, like posting as if they were getting paid to be on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then I asked them, I said, hey, what's the update with, you getting in tech? And they said, yeah, man, it's not working for me. It's not working for me. And then I went to their LinkedIn. They had 0 posts on LinkedIn, 0 activity, 0 engagement. And I called them out. I said, yo, you're trying to get a life-changing career that literally can change your life. And you're taking it so casual that you're just hanging out on Instagram like life is good. And the least thing you could do if you want to be on social media, at least you could also be on, if you want to post a lot, post on LinkedIn, post on a platform that has an ROI for your career. And so I think I've seen that time and time again where people want to get in the tech industry. They want to accomplish something, but they say they want it, but the work they put in to get it, they change none of their habits. It's almost like a person who says that they want to get fit and they only go to the gym 1 or 2 days a week. They don't change their eating habits. They don't change any of their bad habits. But then they want to talk about how, man, I've been working out and I'm not seeing results. I'm not seeing results. And it's like they want to keep their lifestyle, but at the same time, they want their life to be changed, which is an oxymoron. It's like you can't hold on to your old life while also simultaneously wanting a new life. The old life has to die. Like you have to become almost unrecognizable in order for your life to become unrecognizable. So and I think that's what people miss. People think, I'm gonna be real. I was praying a couple days ago, and I was asking God for some stuff in my life, and I was like asking God to kind of like, open some doors and transform my life even more. And subconsciously, while I was praying this, subconsciously I was thinking to myself like, yeah, once this thing happens in my life, then I'm gonna make some additional changes and updates in my work ethic and in how I'm operating. And literally in that moment, God kind of checked me like in my head. I'm not saying like God spoke to me like the heavens opened up, but it was kind of like God like spoke to me in my conscience. It was like, no, you're thinking wrong. It's the opposite. You make the adjustments you need to make, and then everything else around you will change. And that's really what it's about. That's truly what it's about. And so yeah, bro, I love it. I love it. Everybody in the chat loves it too. Kenyatta says you paid your dues. Greg says that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, sorry y'all about the audio. I don't know what's going on. And so y'all know I'm here in Colombia, and sometimes it acts up, sometimes it acts right, but today it's acting a little crazy. Somebody said talk to us, Pastor Cyrus. Yeah, y'all are crazy. Yeah, okay. So Javante says, I've been wanting to enter into a boot camp. Yeah, no, definitely. If you're looking to do something that's shorter and you're looking for like entry level role, then I definitely would encourage the boot camp he did. And so I only recommend other boot camps, whether it's our program we have or other boot camps. I only recommend other boot camps if you want to start off at a higher salary. Now, again, starting off between 60 to 90K is really good money. I started off at 90K. But if you're somebody, I always say whenever I'm speaking to people who are already making about 80K, 90K, 100K, or you want to start off making more, then I would recommend a program that will help you get a job that isn't like super entry level. So that way you can start off making a little bit more. But either way, if you're just trying to get in the industry and you're still really good money, anywhere between 60 and 90K, really good money. If you're just trying to get in the industry, trying to do something that's short, that's still helpful, definitely do the program he did. You can click the description. You can use our discount link. Of course, full transparency. Tech is the New Black receives a referral. We receive a referral kickback for everybody who uses our link. I always like to be open about that. And so that being said, use our discount link, save yourself a little bit of money. do the exact same program that he did. One thing I will ask y'all though, for anybody who uses the link, once you get your job in tech, please let me know. Even if you don't want me to interview you, even if you don't want to be a testimonial, either way, let me know, because I love getting messages of people saying, "Yo, Cyrus, I got in tech, I did this program," whether they did my program or they did another program. I love seeing people's lives transform. So definitely let me know once you get in the industry. And so, all right, I love it. Now, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and transition over to the questions. I will be real, y'all are. I'm definitely celebrating Kevin a lot, which I love, but I don't see any questions. So if y'all got some questions, we're gonna need y'all to drop those questions in the Chizat. We're gonna need them ASAP. ASAP. Yeah. So what's the program he did again? Yeah. So you can answer that, Kevin. I don't have to answer all the questions for you.
Yeah. So it's the information technology course from Course Careers.
Yeah. And I'll show y'all really quickly. Let me share my screen. So there's a few different options. If you do Course Careers, there's a few different options. Can y'all see my screen? Yeah, y'all can see my screen, right? Wait, no, y'all can't. I'm tripping. One moment. Why is it not? Can y'all see? I don't know what's going on right now. The layout.
No, for me
Cancel.
it's just buffering.
Okay, it says I'm sharing my screen. Let me know in the chat. Can y'all see my screen that I'm trying to share?
I'm gonna read some questions that I see in the YouTube chat. How many hours a day did you study? I studied Monday through Friday, like 3 to 4 hours a day. Sorry, is you back?
Yeah, I should be good now. I'm using a hotspot on my phone now.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're a lot clearer now too.
Yeah. So y'all, so just to show y'all, so when you click the link, this is what you'll see. And so these are the top 3 recommended programs from Course Careers that are recommended. So even though it says $4.99, y'all don't pay attention to that. Once you click on the link, it actually is $4.49. But he did the information technology program with Course Careers. Is that correct? You did the information technology program, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And I asked that because I know that you have an analyst job. So sometimes that can be confusing because of data analytics. But yeah, so he did this one, but all 3 are recommended options. So if you do the tech sales program, that's like what I did to be in tech. So y'all see right here, it discounts it down to $4.49. So whether you do the tech sales program, which is what I did to get tech, or I want to highlight really quickly, like I mentioned earlier, he did information technology, and notice this is the one where it's the easiest to land a job. So tech sales is the second easiest. Data analyst or data analytics, same thing, is the least easiest or closest to being hard when it comes to landing a job in the industry. And so really, really good options. And as you see, it says 4 to 12 weeks, just like his, but like he mentioned, he was able to knock it out in, I think, less than 4 weeks. Again, so you can knock it out faster. It's just on average, it takes most people that are kind of taking their time or pacing themselves between 4 to 12 weeks, but you can always finish it sooner. So I just wanted to highlight this for you all, so y'all can see like the different options that they have other programs and other options, but I strongly urge you to do one of these three because these are the best when it comes to getting in the industry the fastest. And so, yeah. Anyway, that being said, I just wanted to highlight that really quickly. Let's go ahead and get to some of the other questions that y'all have here in the chat. Appreciate the love, Greg. Appreciate the love. All right, my bad. I heard you answering a question earlier, Kevin. Did you get to finish answering the question?
Yeah, I did. Someone just asked how many hours a day did I study, and I told them like Monday through Friday, it was like 3 to 4 hours after work.
Okay, that's fire. All right, Michael says, why do you think data analytics would be the hardest to get a job? Seems like that's where money is. I mean, money is there for all of them. All of them start off income-wise roughly around like 60 to 80K, like on average between all three of them. One of the reasons why, first and foremost, it's just not as necessary. So you have to think about it. A data analyst, and again, I'm gonna minimize. I'm gonna do a simplification of what the job is. This is a simplification. A data analyst is they are analyzing data, like the name says. They're analyzing the data to help a company or a team make certain strategy decisions based off of that data. So a company, you usually don't need a lot of data analysts to do that type of job. You might have one data analyst per organization, or some companies, depending on the size, might just have a small team of data analysts that kind of support the entire company. But what he does, or IT, being in the IT support space or information technology space, there's a lot of different roles you can have. You could be essentially tech support. It's like, Kevin, can you name some of the different types of jobs you've seen or of people having that are like in your space?
Yeah, so like you mentioned, tech support. There's also, from what I do as well, I also do run reports in the mornings to, like you said, to like help, I guess, strategize or to find easier ways to do things, maybe cost-effective ways to do things, and yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, y'all, you have to think about it. Even if we're just talking about tech support, when people are calling a company or when they're emailing a company or when they're on a company's website, like, they can use AI to do some of that stuff, but a lot of those things require a human touch. And so you have to think about it. If a company, let's say it's a relatively popular company, it's like they're going to be getting a lot of emails, a lot of phone calls, a lot of people active in the chat every day, all throughout the day. So you need a good proportion, a good amount of people, unless you want people's wait time to be 1 or 2 or 3 days before they get a response from tech support, before they're able to handle whatever ticket is in the portal. It's like you're going to need a certain amount of people. Same thing with tech sales. Sales is the lifeblood of a company, because without sales, you're not making money. And if you're not making money, you don't have a business. Like, you are not within business if you're not making money. So companies also need a lot of salespeople, and so that's just a very common thing. Usually whenever a company is laying off salespeople, it's usually because either one, their product is not in very high demand anymore, or two, there's a large group of salespeople that are hyper underperforming. So that being said, IT and tech sales, they're in very high demand because in reality, you just need a good number of people to be able to do those things properly. So that's really what it's about. And again, data analytics is still really good. But yeah, as we just saw, it's just not as in demand because you don't need as many people to be able to do it. Yeah. So Javante, hopefully I'm saying your name right. So yeah, you said, I have a degree in information technology, but it's been hard finding a job. and this is something that my entire platform is about. This is why I talk about tech boot camps, because uh, degrees or colleges are not in business to help you get a job. Colleges are just in business to give you education, and to get paid for the education. That's it. Colleges are not incentivized to help you get a job, because there's so many people that don't get jobs, and it's kind of like the norm. But when you do a boot camp, boot camps feel very heavy pressure to make sure you get a job. I mean, even I can speak personally. Like before I even was a co-founder of a boot camp, just me telling people about boot camps, I felt pressure to make sure people were getting jobs. And that's why I started the podcast. That's why I started doing these tech testimonies, because I wanted people to, one, be inspired, but also get education to help them get in the industry faster. And so imagine the pressure that boot camp founders feel when it comes to you doing their program. So boot camps are not here to give you education, even though they are. They really are there to also give you career support. So Javante, hopefully I'm saying it right, one of the ways, but yeah, that's a very common thread. A lot of people, Harvard, I don't know if anybody saw recently, Harvard went viral because there's like thousands and thousands of their graduates that can't get jobs in tech. Harvard graduates and Yale graduates can't get in tech. And then you got Kevin here who got in tech in 6 weeks. You got me getting in 8 weeks, and a variety of other people that I've interviewed. So whereas you go to Harvard, you're going to have to go to school for 4 years before you even get out in the market to apply to a job. Kevin did 4 weeks of a program and got 2 offers. And so compare that 4 weeks versus 4 years, a program that's $500 versus a college degree that's $50,000. And so that's why the whole nature of this platform exists. So anyway, and mind you, you didn't notice Javanta, because colleges, we're told you have to go to college. No one says you have to do a boot camp. So we go to college thinking, oh, this is the way to success. When if you're talking about getting in tech or getting certain careers outside of being a lawyer or being a medical doctor and a few other careers, no, college is not necessary. And in some ways, it limits you when it comes to resources and assistance. So yeah, yeah, Greg says, preach. I graduated with a mathematics degree and ended in an entry-level job. Yeah, and that's mathematics of all things. All right, good stuff, guys. All right, so we're going to look for like 1 or 2 more questions for Kevin to be able to answer. I'm going to let him talk a little bit more, and then we are going to go ahead and prepare to wrap up. So if anybody has any questions before we jump off, whether it's for Kevin or for me, but preferably a question that's tailored for Kevin.
Wait,
let us know in the chat.
On the YouTube, it says, is it a one-time payment if I use the link? So I know that there's 2 options, right? There's like a payment plan. No?
Not with
I know Course Careers, there's a payment plan.
Yes, they do. I think they still have that. Yeah, I think they still have that. Yeah, sometimes they've removed it, and then sometimes they'll still have it. But yeah, no, it's either a one-time payment. So yeah, so you're not going to pay more. You're not going to pay more than $449 unless you do a payment plan. Then it ends up being more than $449. It ends up being around $600 or $700 instead.
But you still get a discount. You still get a discount if you do the payment plan. But if you just pay
exactly.
like you said, you just pay a bit more.
Yeah. Amari, I don't know what you mean. What's the success rate for tech sales? Are you saying what's the success rate of someone doing the tech sales and getting a job in the industry? Hey, could please expound, Amari. All right, Omari, we're kind of waiting on you. So Do the boot camps include mentorship assistance in breaking into the industry? Uh, Amari, it depends on you how long it takes to get a job. Like Kevin got his job within a few weeks after finishing the program, a couple weeks after finishing. I did a different boot camp and I got a job within 8 weeks of finishing the boot camp that I did. So it depends, but I've also interviewed people where it took them 5 months, 6 months after the program. It's really, and it's always up to you. It's a combination of it being up to the work that you put in and God, honestly, So either way, there's no determining how long it is. It's really up to you. Like if you listen to the story, you heard Kevin how he had a system, he had a schedule, he was organized, he blocked out all distractions, he was locked in. I've mentioned before, my first 4 weeks after I did the boot camp, I barely got interviews. But guess what? I wasn't locked in those first 4 weeks. After those 4 weeks, I locked in, and then I started getting offers. So you got to be locked in. You're not paying for a job. You're paying for education and support to get in the tech industry. But you got to do the work. You got to do the work. Yes, Omari. Well, I'll let Kevin answer this and see what insights he has. So the Amari asks, can you benefit from doing both tech sales and the IT program?
So I didn't do tech sales, right? So I could speak about the IT program that I did do. Yeah, you benefit a lot. For anybody that doesn't have any experience, they literally, it's like they hand feed you everything on that course. It starts with like just learning the basics of IT. Then, like I said, I feel like the course is designed to help you land more interviews. So they help you with like building projects, building a GitHub portfolio, interview questions, resume help. They help you with cover letters, all of that stuff. So yes, they definitely do help you.
Yeah, definitely. And something to highlight for you, because the other part of your question where you mentioned, can you benefit from doing both? Yeah, you can. Industry wise, you can benefit from doing both, because if you're good at tech sales and you are technical because of the IT, the information technology, that could definitely make you very well rounded. They actually have an option. Let me see if I can let me show y'all really quickly. They actually have an option. If y'all see here, let's say you go and do IT support or IT. Watch this. You can literally, hopefully y'all can see this. You can courses together for a little bit less than twice the price. Thing. You can bundle everything together. Oh, excuse me. This said, no, this is. Wait, let me go back. So don't go this way. So I'm happy y'all are watching this, because I think I just found out. I found a hack for y'all. I think I did. We're about to find out. So we can go technology sales. Okay, so it's not a full hack, but you can bundle them together. But yeah, it comes out to like, so instead of you having to pay for everything individually, they do have a bundle option, which I literally just saw this today, because I was one of my family members, I was paying for them to do the program, and I saw this in here. And so, but yeah, you could benefit from doing both if you choose to. You don't need to do both to get in the industry, but if you want to be more well-rounded, or you want to kind of be able to get different opportunities in the industry, you can definitely do that. But it's not a necessity. Good. Crazy. All right, there we go. All right, good stuff. Love it, love it. All right, guys. So that is basically it. Kevin, I want to give you the floor before we wrap up. If you could leave the people with one word of advice or something that you want to share with people, maybe something you didn't get to share yet that you think is important to say to everybody or let everybody know.
Yeah, I guess one last thing is if any of you guys are like not sure or indecisive of getting this course, or you guys are like stuck in life and want to like find something else to do, I know Course Careers, they offer like many other courses as well, not just IT. So maybe you could see what other courses they could offer you as well, because I know they have like UI, UIX design. They have other courses as well. And it's helped me tremendously. So I feel like just take the leap of faith, and put all your effort into this course. It'll be worth it at the end. It'll definitely be worth it at the end, especially for everyone that's stuck and has no and they don't really know what to do with their lives. But yeah,
Exactly. I love it. I love it. I'm here for it. Hey, look, y'all, appreciate y'all for being here. Kevin, thank you, man, for coming on here and sharing your story. My bad for all of the technical issues and stuff, but I'm happy we were able to still make it happen. And man, love your story, bro. I love your drive, a lot of the nuggets and gems and stuff that you gave. Y'all make sure y'all connect with him, on LinkedIn, follow him, on LinkedIn, all of that good stuff. Because I mean, he's clearly going to be scaling in the industry and making some major moves. Aside from that, y'all, shouts out to y'all for y'all investing in y'all's time by being here tonight. What's that? Greg says, going tech is the new black. Okay. Oh no, Kiana said that. Super cool. All right, look, y'all have a blessed, beautiful night. Again, Kevin, appreciate you so much, bro.
thank you, Cyrus, for having me. I had a great time.
All right, y'all. All right, peace.